In the heart of an island nation, shaped by earthquakes, typhoons, and a deep reverence for the natural world, lies an architectural story unlike any other. It's a story told not just in stone and steel, but in the soul of wood, in the ambition of warriors, and in visions of a future born from the ashes of the past. This is the history of Japanese architecture, a journey from sacred temples that harmonize with nature to impenetrable castles that project power, and finally, to futuristic cities that rethink the very idea of what a building can be. For centuries, Japanese builders have mastered a unique language of design. It's a language that respects materials, embraces simplicity, and constantly adapts to its environment. While influenced by its powerful neighbors, Japan has always forged its own path, transforming foreign ideas into something unmistakably Japanese. Join us as we explore three pivotal ages of Japanese design: the age of temples, the age of castles, and the age of futuristic cities. Our story begins with the arrival of a new faith. In the 6th century, Buddhism traveled from the mainland, bringing with it the grand architectural styles of China and Korea. This sparked a cultural and construction boom during the Asuka and Nara periods, as Japan's nobility began building magnificent temples. In Nara, we find the ultimate testament to this era, Horyuji Temple. Founded in 607 by Prince Shotoku, a key promoter of Buddhism, this complex contains the oldest surviving wooden buildings in the world. Its main hall and 5-story pagoda have stood for over 1,300 years, a marvel of engineering in a land of constant seismic activity. The secret to their longevity lies in the mastery of wood. Japanese architects developed sophisticated interlocking joints that hold the structure together without nails. This allows the building to flex and absorb the energy of an earthquake. Wood was rarely painted, allowing its natural grain to be appreciated, a sign of deep respect for the material itself. But before Buddhism arrived, Japan had its own indigenous beliefs. Shinto, the way of the gods. Shinto architecture is defined by its simplicity and profound harmony with nature. Nowhere is this more apparent than at Ise Grand Shrine, Shinto's holiest site. For over 1,300 years, Ise Jingu has undergone a unique ritual called Shikinen Sengu. Every 20 years, the main shrine buildings are completely rebuilt on an adjacent site using ancient techniques. This tradition ensures that the architectural skills are passed down through generations and that the shrine remains eternally new, yet forever ancient, a concept known as tokowaka. Instead of one religion replacing the other, a uniquely Japanese fusion occurred known as Shinbutsu Shugo. Shinto shrines began adopting the elegant curved roofs and grander scale of Buddhist temples, while Buddhist temples in Japan developed a greater sensitivity to their natural surroundings, a core Shinto value. For centuries, the two existed side by side, often within the same complex, creating a spiritual landscape that was a perfect blend of imported grandeur and native simplicity. As Japan entered its medieval period, power shifted from the imperial court to a new warrior class, the samurai. This change was reflected in the architecture. The Kamakura and Muromachi eras saw a move towards simpler, more austere designs, exemplified by the humble tea house, a space designed for quiet contemplation. But this peace would not last. The 15th and 16th centuries were a time of constant civil war, and from this chaos rose a new architectural icon, the Japanese castle. And there is no finer example than Himeji Castle. Known as the White Heron Castle for its elegant white plaster walls, it is a masterpiece of both beauty and military design. Unlike European castles, which were primarily stone, Himeji is a complex of 83 wooden buildings built upon massive stone foundations. Its defenses were ingenious. The castle was a fortress, a center of government, and a home for the feudal lord, or daimyo. An invading army would first have to cross 3 moats before navigating a confusing, maze-like labyrinth of paths and gates designed to disorient and trap them. The walls are riddled with thousands of loopholes, circular, triangular, and rectangular, each shape designed for a different weapon, from bows and arrows to the firearms that had recently been introduced. In fact, it was the arrival of guns, not cannons, that spurred the evolution from simple wooden stockades to these massive stone and plaster fortresses. The castle was designed to intimidate rivals, a clear symbol of the daimyo's power and wealth. Yet even in its design, we see a distinctly Japanese aesthetic. The fire-resistant white plaster walls, the gracefully curved roofs, and the way the structure incorporates the natural landscape all echo the design principles of the temples that came before it. The Japanese castle was not just a fortress, it was a work of art. After the Second World War, Japan faced the monumental task of rebuilding. The nation modernized at incredible speed, and its architecture transformed with it. Western styles, along with materials like metal and concrete, began to define the new urban landscape. But a group of young, visionary architects believed Japan needed more than just copies of Western buildings. They needed a new, uniquely Japanese vision for the future. In 1960, they launched a movement called Metabolism. Their philosophy was radical. They believed cities and buildings should be designed like living organisms, with a permanent core infrastructure and replaceable cell-like parts that could adapt to a changing society. The most famous realization of this idea was Kisho Kurokawa's Nakagin Capsule Tower, completed in Tokyo in 1972. It consisted of 2 concrete cores with 140 prefabricated capsules bolted on. Each tiny pod was a self-contained apartment or office designed for the modern, mobile city dweller. The vision was that these capsules could be unplugged and replaced every 25 years, allowing the building to constantly renew itself. But the vision was never realized. No capsule was ever replaced, and the building slowly fell into disrepair, becoming a fossil of a future that never was. It was demolished in 2022. While metabolism's dream faded, the Japanese spirit of blending tradition and innovation continued. Today, Tokyo's skyline is dominated by the Tokyo Skytree. At 634 meters, it's a marvel of modern engineering, but its design is deeply rooted in Japanese history. Its triangular base gradually morphs into a circle, a shape inspired by the gentle curve, or sori, of a samurai sword. Its central concrete column is a modern take on the Shinto, the central pillar used in ancient pagodas to absorb earthquake vibrations. This philosophy of blending the new with the old, of creating open and harmonious spaces, can be seen in contemporary masterpieces like the 21st Century Museum of Contemporary Art in Kanazawa. Its circular, transparent design creates no formal front or back, inviting the city in like a public park. From the sacred forests of Ise to the warrior fortresses of Himeji, and from the capsule towers of the Metabolists to the soaring skyscrapers of today, the story of Japanese architecture is a story of remarkable continuity and constant reinvention. It is a tradition that has always valued its materials, finding spiritual depth in the grain of wood and technological elegance in the strength of steel. It has absorbed influences from across the world, but has always adapted them, creating a style that is entirely its own. Today, as Japanese architects continue to push the boundaries of design, they still draw from a deep well of tradition, a respect for nature, a love of simplicity, and a belief that a building should be more than just a structure. It should be a harmonious part of the world around it. It is a legacy written in timber, stone, and glass, a timeless expression of the soul of an island nation.